Hello, this is the fourth video for Math0302 Beginning Algebra, Chapter 3, Section 3. We're going to do practice 4 now, and it says to graph 3x equals 2y plus 4 by finding and plotting intercepts. Now, whenever it says intercepts, what it means is to find the x-intercept and to find the y-intercept. Now, with the x-intercept, what do we know? Well, we know that the y value has to be 0. Remember, the other is always 0. So if I plug in 0 for y into the function, that's going to give me 3x is equal to, now notice that 2 times 0 is just 0, plus 4, and that is 4. So to solve this, I divide by 3, which means x is equal to 4/3. So the coordinate is 4/3, 0. That's the x-intercept. Now let's look at the y-intercept. Now with the y-intercept, we know that x has to be 0. And since x is 0, we plug it into the original problem. That gives me 3 times 0, which is 0, is equal to 2y plus 4. Okay. So I need to get the y by itself, so I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. Some people would have subtracted 2y. It doesn't matter which one you do. You can subtract -4 or you can subtract 2y as long as you cancel out one of the terms from one side. So it's going to give you -4 equals 2y. Then you can divide by 2. That means that y is equal to -2. So the coordinate here will be 0, -2. Now be very careful. Notice that I'm saying that the x-intercept is the coordinate 4/3, 0, and that the y-intercept is the coordinate 0, -2. I'm not saying that the x-intercept is 4/3 or that the y-intercept is -2. It's very important that you understand the x-intercept and y-intercept must be coordinates. Now, that's all it says to do, and that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and do a third coordinate though. Again, notice that the y is going by 2's here, so I'm going to go, instead of 0, because that's what I used here, I'm going to let x equal a different value, in this case 2, because it's not 2 here. So because I'm going to let x equal 2 here, that means that 3 times 2 is equal to 2y plus 4. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 is equal to 2y plus 4. Subtract 4 from both sides. So 2 is equal to 2y. And again, just divide by 2 here, so y is equal to 1. So that gives me the coordinate 2, 1. Okay. Now again, I'm going to go to a different page to graph because I can't graph on the coordinate that's provided here. I've already kind of started this. We have practice 4. We have 3x equals 2y plus 4. This is the equation that we're graphing. Now I haven't filled in the x or y intercepts yet. The x-intercept, if we look back here, was 4/3, 0. So I'm going to go ahead and put in here 4/3, 0. The y-intercept is 0, -2. And then we just have an extra coordinate here that I've figured out, which is 2, 1. Okay, good. Let's plot these. Now 4/3, 0. Here's the thing, I'm perfectly fine with you leaving this as 4/3 for your answer. However, to graph it, you do need to be able to put this into mixed number form. So 4/3 is equal to something in mixed form. To do that, we actually do the division. It is the top divided by the bottom. How many times does 3 go into 4? Once. 1 times 3 is 3. Subtract, that gives you 1. 1's less than 3, you're done. This is your remainder. So this 1 is your whole value, so that's 1, and your remainder will be your numerator still, and your denominator is still 3. So it's 1 1/3, comma 0. So I'm going to go ahead and plot that. Notice that it's kind of hard to tell here, so you're just going to have to kind of estimate. You're not going to be perfect when you have to do fractions like this. Then we have 0, -2, so 0, -2. It's pretty easy to graph. Put it on there. And what I did was I went ahead and found another point here, 2, 1. So I went right 2, up 1. Notice that all of those fall in the same line. Good, that means that I probably did this correctly. Let me go ahead and graph this. There we go. Sorry, I was just trying to make it look decent here. There you go. So, this is how you graph using x and y intercepts. Now notice that I only had to have done the first two. I did not have to do the 2, 1 here because that's not what was asked. The only thing that was asked was to use the 4/3 0 and the 0, -2. Notice that I used this 2, 1 just so that I can figure out if I did this correctly, if everything falls onto a line. You don't have to, but honestly I kind of recommend it. It helps.